Whoever doesn't know, so this is Ramprakash Doraiswamy. So working as a software specialist in Robert Boss Business and Engineering Solutions. And I have 10 plus years of experience starting from Dynamics CRM. And I'm a Power specialist too. And here are my blogs and YouTube and my LinkedIn's available. So you can just reach me out over there. And for any queries, you can directly check my YouTube channel because my YouTube channel is only for a technical perspective. There is no functional. So you can just go there and you can see the basic from the basics of Dataverse. I have started the channel over there. So before wasting our time, so I'll just start off the agenda here. So the agenda is like the event pipelines. So in a technical, what are the event pipelines available, and what are the main difference between a plugin and workflow activity. So when we need to go for a plugin and when we need to go for a workflow activity, and what is the use of that, and what is meant by retrieve multiple, execute and execute multiple in plugins, and a demo. So I'll just go for a event pipeline here. So there are three events available. So nothing but a pre-validation and a pre-operation and a post-operation available. So when we need to go for a pre-validation, so for example, I have an entity available with a currency value. So if the currency is exists in the value like a validating, so the name denotes a validation. So for putting some validation, so which will run only outside the database transaction. So for that we can go for the pre-validation, and for pre-operation, so within the database operation. So after pre-validation, the post pre-operation will trigger, and before the within the database transaction, it will automatically gets executed. So when post operation will trigger, so the post operation will trigger, this is the main transaction. This will directly go and save the record into a database. So after saving it to the database, the what is the record saved, that value we can able to retrieve. For example, if I'm creating a record, so in the pre-validation, pre-operation, I won't get the ID of that one, but after post-operation, I can get the ID of that one which I have created, which is nothing but a GUID ID in Dataverse. So there are two images available, which is nothing but a pre-image and post-image. So what is pre-image? For example, if I'm updating a record, so what is the record which is before updated? It's like an audit history. So it's a old update and a new update. Old update is nothing but a pre-update, pre-image, and a new update is nothing but a post-image. So using these two images, we can able to get the pre-image and post-image operation in our plugins. So what is the difference between a plugin and workflow activity? So the plugin will run in different events, like as I said, mentioned, it will run in pre-operation or pre-validation or post-operation, or else post-operation with sync and async operations. These type of things which it will handle in plugins. But when we are going with the workflow activity, so the workflow activity will run within a workflow. So for example, as per the out of box behavior, there are workflow activities, the process available, right? So from action we can able to call that workflow activity, or else from we can write as some system workflow activity from that will run only within that limit, like the conditions we can use, and we can directly call our code over there. So for using that, we can directly use a workflow activity here. But when compared to that one, plugin activity, we can directly use that one by achieving like a different stages, which is nothing but an pre post operations here. So let's jump into this one. So there are the CRUD operations like create, update, and delete available. So the same way we can use some of the operation, the main operation which is available in the plugin for retrieving a record and retrieving a record or executing a record. So let's see step by step what is meant by retrieve multiple, execute and execute multiple. So let's go with a retrieve. So retrieve is nothing but, for example, I'm having a contact entity available and I have a contact GUID available. So if I pass a GUID, I can able to get a record that is used for a retrieve, which means retrieve. The condition we need to use for retrieve is only with the GUID. Without GUID, we can't able to retrieve the record. This will return only one record at a time. When we go for a retrieve multiple, so irrespective of conditions, like whether it is a GUID or else a contact name contains Ram Prakash, like something like these type of conditions we can directly use here, and we can retrieve more than one records here, and within the related entities we can directly use a filtering, and we can directly retrieve multiple records here. So in a single retrieve multiple we can able to fetch of only 5,000 records, but there is a code available where we can use a pagination and we can retrieve more than 5,000 records in our code. Then execute. For example, if I want to create assign a request, so while assigning a request I can directly if I want to for example, there are 10 opportunities available. If I go with in from account I need to retrieve an opportunity, so I got 10 opportunities available in a for loop. I am just looping it and I'm assigning it each record, what can I say, assigning the request. So at that time, if I'm using into a for loop, I can directly use a execute method, and I can this will run each and every time. So it will go and hit the database each and every time. Like for example, 10 opportunities available, it will go and hit the database 10 times. But to avoid that, we can directly use execute multiple here. So what it will do, we will just store it into a variable, and we can directly pass that to a execute multiple. So in a single shot, it will directly take all the opportunities, and that will automatically assign the respective values whatever we are based on our requirement. So for that we are using a execute multiple here. So these are the main things which we are using, like a retrieve multiple, execute, and execute multiple in our plugins and workflows. So now we'll just see a small demo here from the how to create a plugin, then how to debug a plugin, and how to use a pre-validation, and how to use a pre-operation and post-operation synchronous and post-operation asynchronous, and a workflow activity demo. So these are all the thing which I'm just going to cover in the demo. So I did not, so that's why I did not put as much slide over here, because for demo obviously it will take some time. So let's begin with the demo here first. So for that, first I'll just go to my Dataverse table. So here you can able to see I have already created some of the tables here. So I have taken an existing an account table, and I have created a custom table with address and an opportunity table here. So I'll just open an account table here. I'll add a new record here. Cool. So what I'll do for now, I'll just create. I'm just creating a new record. So this is a parent entity, and the related entity, I have two entities available. One is nothing but an address. So I'll just go to an address here. So here you can able to see some of the fields which is available here, like a street, a city, which I have created. Now I'll go back and I'll just show you another related entity called opportunity. So I just created for a sample demo, for demo purpose. I just created it as an opportunity, and we'll see. So these three tables I'm just taking into a consideration for today's demo. So first, to write a plugin, I'll just go to my Visual Studio. I'll just create a new project. I'll select a class library over here. So which is, or else you can directly search for a class library and you can able to pick it out here. I'll just select a class library and I'll click on next. And I'll say, okay, so I'll just click on create. Sorry, I have created with the .NET standard. I just need to create with the .NET framework. So let me just close it. So creating new project. It's there here, .NET framework. Perfect. I'll just click on next. So for now, the framework is available with 4.7.2. If I go with 4.7.2, the plugin won't allow. So I'll just go with a 4.7.2. I'll just show you an error what we are getting. Then I'll just change this one. For now, I'll just go with the .NET framework 4.7.2. I'll just click on create here. Perfect. So it's created now. So once it's created, so I'll just add a reference over here. So I'll just search for a reference like SDK. So I'll just click on core assemblies. I'll just click on install. Okay, I'll agree this. Cool, it's installed now. I'll just go here. I'll just go to the class. I'll just rename this class. First, I'll just go with the pre-validation account. I'll just rename this one so that what can I say, the class automatically gets changed. I'll use a I plugin here. So using a for using plugin, we need to go with I plugin. So I'll just add an assembly here. So once after I add assembly, it will ask to an interface here. So I'll just add an interface here. So now what I have done, I just created a class and I have used a plugin here, and I have used the execute method to process our what can I say, the methods here. So once I done, I'll just go to my code which I have already written. I'll just copy the predefined, which means we need to use this one for all the plugins and workflow activities. So I'll just paste this one here, which is nothing but the plugin execution context. So here, based on the service provider, it will get the execution context here. Then based on the execution context, what we need to do, so the context we can directly use it to get the user ID, and we can able to get the service. So this service, based on the service, we can directly go for this, as I said initially, like retrieve multiple, or execute multiple, or do a crude operation like create, update, delete, all the thing we can directly use with this what can I say, this service method based on the user ID. Why we are going with this user ID? The based on the logged in user ID, the permissions the permission will automatically come over with this service. So for that, we are directly using with the context. From that context user ID, we are taking this service. Then I'm just using a tracing service here. What is meant by this tracing service? So like in the plugin, if you are going with console application, we can use console.writeLine so that it will just show the logs over there. Or else if we are going with Azure function, we can use logger.log so that it will log a file. So console.log, like that, we can directly use this tracing service. That tracing service will automatically get logged into our system. So if suppose first thing you need to note about for the tracing service. So I'll just go for advanced settings here. So I'll just go to administration. It's taking some time. Okay, let it load. Okay, so without wasting the time, so we'll just go with the first validation. So check amount greater than 50,000. If it is greater than 15,000, I need to save the record, or else I want to I will stop saving the record. So what I need to do, so I'll just go to my account entity here. So here you can able to say I have an amount field available. So I just need to validate this amount field, and this is a currency field. So what I need to do, so I'll just go here and I'll say this target entity, I'll just copy it. So what I need to do, this target is nothing but the values. For example, if I'm creating a record, what are the values which is available there, that will be available in the target. So based on that target, I'm just converting it to an entity, and I'm just using it here. So first thing, I just want to check that if entity dot attributes dot contains, I just want to say here, I want to take the logical name of this field. So I'll just go here. I'll just go to columns. I'll search for the amount field. This is the amount field. I'll just copy this amount field here. I'll just paste it out here. So what it will do, if the amount is greater than 5,000, I need to retrieve this record. So now first thing I have checked is if this amount contains a data. So for now, I'll just save this one. So that I'll just go with the debugging part to see how it works. So I'll just click on rebuild here. So before going and deploying it into our what can I say, the plugin registration tool, you need to add a sign-in key first. So for adding a sign-in key, just click on the solution and go to properties and click on a sign-in here and enable a sign-in here. So create a new sign-in. So I'll say DB submit 2021. So I don't want to use a password for now because it's a demo. So I'll just save this one. So here you can able to see the sign-in key gets created. I'll just rebuild it again. I'll just go to my plugin registration tool. I'll register a new assembly. So I'll just copy this folder. I'll go to bin debug, and here you can able to see the file available. I'll just click on OK. So here, as I said initially, while I'm just creating a plugin, right? Sorry, while creating a Visual Studio, I have chosen 4.7.2. So the plugin registration tool does not support 4.7.2. So we need to change that. What can I say? The .NET framework here. So for that, I just showed you a demo with the 4.7.2. Now to begin with, I'll just change this one to 4.7.1. I'll just click on S, and I'll go here and I build the solution again. I'll just come again. I'll just select the same solution again. I'll just click on enter. Cool. Now the plugin registered successfully. So this is the plugin which registered now, and this is the pre-validation account which we have done. I'll add a new step here. I'll say create message, and I want to trigger this with an account entity. So I'll just put a secondary entity as null, and this should be a pre-validation, and I'll just click on registration. Now the step is registered. So if you want to debug this one, so what do you need to do? You need to install a profiler first. So initially the profiler will be available here to install a profile. You just need to click on install profiler. That will take at least 3 to 4 minutes to get it installed. For as this is a demo, I don't want to waste the time. So I have already installed the profiler. So once this installed, just click on the step and click on start profiling, and you can able to say persist to entity available. Just click on OK. So now it's in a profile state. Now I'll go to my account screen. I'll just create a new account here, and I'll enter the amount here. I'll just click on save. So now the account gets created. I'll just go to my plugin again. I'll just go for a debug. I'll just click on this one. And here you can able to see for pre-validation which I have, or which is the one which we have created, and we have what can I say, profiled this plugin. So I'll just select this one. I'll just select the DLL. So once this done, I'll just go to my Visual Studio. I'll just put a breakpoint over here. I'll just go to debug, attach to process. I'll select the plugin registration. Cool. Now it's done. So here you can able to say start execution available. I'll just click on start execution. So that's it. The debugger came here. So I'll just run it out here. So first thing, this is the context which is available here, and here you can able to see the service factory, and here you can able to see the service available, and this is for tracing which is available. And here, as I said, from the target we are getting this value. So I'll just expand this one. So I'll just expand the attributes. I'll expand the key. So these are the field which is in the target available, and what are the values which is available. You can see the values available here. So now we need to go with the amount field. So what I will do, so I'll just take this one. I'll just go for a quick watch. I'll just say ICO underscore amount. So here you can able to say this is the value, and this is a money field. So I can able to get this value using this query. So I'll just copy this code. I'll just close this one. I'll just stop the debugger. I'll just simply say if the value is less than 50,000, I'll say throw new invalid plugin execution exception. I'll say amount should be greater than 50,000. That's it. We are done with the code. So I'll just rebuild it again. I'll just go here. I'll just stop the profiling. Make sure whenever you are for example, when any plugin is in available, for example, if you profiled something and if you republish again, the next time when you try to what can I say, update the DLL, it won't rebuild. So for that, what you need to do, you just need to go to the top and down, and you need to remove that. One second, it's not there. Just drop profiling. Yeah, cool. So if suppose here you can able to see that if any error occurs, for example, you profiled something, but you try to update it again, At that time, if you get an error, you just come and see here any other whether any plugin is already available in the profiling state or not. If it is available, just unregister it here so that you can able to update the same solution again. So I'll just come to here. I'll just go for an update. I'll just update the solution which we have recently built it. Done. So I'll just go here. I'll just create a new record. I'll just put an amount as 4,000. I'll just click on save. So the alert message which we have mentioned that for a pre-validation, which it automatically came. So before transaction, before what can I say, the database transaction, we got an error here. So for that, we are just going with the what can I say, the pre-validation here. So I'll just change it to 50,000. Sorry, 5 lakh. I'll just click on save. The record will save now. So perfect. So now the pre-validation is done. Hope the pre-validation is clear now. So now let me go with the pre-operation here. So I'll just go to my PPT again. So if the amount is greater than 6,000, 60,000, then I want to set some value here in the pre-operation. So what I need to do? So I'll just again add a new item. I'll say pre-operation account create. I'll add this one. So I'll just instead of wasting the time, I'll just directly copy this full step. I'll just paste it out here. Sorry. And I'll just say it's a I plugin. And I'll add a SDK here. Perfect. Sorry, the execute method is not available. I'll just add an execute method. I'll just put this one and I'll just put inside this one. Perfect. Cool. Now it's done. Okay. So what I need to do now here? So if the amount is less than 50,000, we throw in an error in the pre-validation there. So now for pre-operation, if it is greater than what is the amount which I have mentioned? So let me say 60,000. I'll just paste this one. So at that time, what I need to do? So I'll just say entity. For example, this is a boolean is valid account. I have a field available. I want to set it to yes if it is greater than 60,000. So what I need to do? I'll just go to my Dataverse. I'll just is valid account. Yeah, it's there. I'll just copy this one. I'll just paste it and equal to true. I'm just setting it to true. If not, I'm just setting it to false again. Perfect. So now I have done it for pre operation here. So make sure, for example, now I did not mention this class as public. If suppose I did not mention this class as public, you won't see this message in the plugin registration tool. So make sure you are adding a public here so that you can able to see this message, what can I say, this CS file in our plugin registration tool. So now I saved this one. I'll just go here. I'll just update this code again. Cool, it's registered now. So I'll just right click and I'll add a new step. I'll say create operation and it should be in account and I input a second entity as none and it should be in a pre-operation and I'll just click on register a new step. Perfect, it's done now. So I'll just go here and I'll just create a new record. I'll say test, sorry, before and I'll say account amount. So I'll just put it as 55, 5 lakh one and I'll just say save. So here the is a valid account is set to yes. So whatever we have done there, it will automatically gets here. So initially, like if you are going with post operation or something, we need to use with update operation to update a record. But if you are going with the pre operation, we don't want to do any update or something like that. Before database transaction, if we set that value, that will automatically come and set it here out here. So for example, let me say I'll just change it to click on save. Oh, sorry, it's an update operation. The step which we have registered is in and what can I say, the create operation. So I'll just go here. So now I'll just save this record. So here you can able to see it's still in no, because if I mean the amount is not greater than 60,000, so it is going there and setting it to false. So this is how we need to go with the pre-operation step here. So let me just go with the other step now. So now we have completed the pre-validation and post-operation steps here. I'll go with the post-operation synchronous method here. So for example, there is an account available. So there are address available like street 1, street 2, street 3, city, state, province available. So if this account gets created, I want to create an address automatically. Like for example, the whatever the account at the street, that should automatically populate in the street one, city, state, country, and zip code. So let's see how we can do that one in the post operation. I just click on add. I'll add a new item. I'll add a new class. I'll say post account create sync. I'll just add this one. So I'll just add a plugin. I'll change it to public. I'll implement the interface here. Now this is done. So I'll just copy the main steps which I needed. Yes, it's done here. Okay. So now consider there are two types of bindings available. One is early binding and late binding available. So whatever I have done till now. So like if I'm just using this one like this is called a late binding. If I want to use a early binding, how can I go with the early binding? So let's see a small demo for the early binding also. So for now, I'll just because I'm just using XRM toolbox to download my early binding here. So for that, I'm just opening the XRM toolbox. So if you, I mean, I'm just using the DV environment, which is for early binding here. So first, I'll just connect to my environment. Sorry. I'll just connect to my environment. Cool, it's connected to my environment. I'll just click on early bind generator. So here you can able to see an entity wish list available. You can just select the entity wish list which you want. So for now, I just added the account and address because from the account, I'm just creating a record in what can I say, address entity. So for that, I'm just selected both account and address here. I'll just click on save. And I want to create all the like, if, I'm not sure whether any options it's available there or not. So by keeping that considered in mind, I'll just click on create all to create all these records. Let's wait for some time because it will take some time to create a record. So as we are creating all the three like actions, option set and entities, it will ask, I mean, the tool is asking 3 times of password so that it will automatically create all the entities with the different passwords. Okay, so until this gets generated, I'll just go here and show you this got automatically load this got loader. So for enabling a tracing, so you just need to go for administration and you need to click on system settings to enable a plugin tracing here. So because initially the plugin tracing logs will be in off status, so we want to enable it we want to enable trace a logs only if it is an exception available, or we need to for all the tracing. So for example, if I want to track anything, we can directly use that one to get it downloaded for all the tracing logs. So for getting it done, so we just need to go here. Sorry. So it will be like here. So plugin trace log and custom workflow available. So if you turn off, you can I mean, it won't enable a tracing. If you put exception, if any exception occurs, it will automatically gets logged. If you are putting it all, it will log the tracing for all the tracing wherever you are using, whether it is in a plugin, what plugins, or either in a workflow activity. So for all of them, we can use this one. So now I'll just go here. Perfect. So now it is done. I'll just go to this path. I'll just copy all these three. I'll go to my code. I'll just create a folder here. Let me say a libbind. And I'll just paste this here. Perfect. Now you can able to see all the three gets selected here. Now what I'll do, I'll just go to my post create operation sync. So here I'm just say caco underscore address. So I'll just select here, and here you can able to see you can use the early binding here. So now I'll say create address to new. So now this is how we can use directly instead of like each and every time going there and taking the values from the logical name, and we I mean paste it out here, and sometimes we may paste a wrong value, wrong name over there. So to avoid such kind of things, we can directly go with the early binding, and it will save you a lot of time also. But the only key thing which you need to know is like whenever you are creating a new field, and if you want to populate that field in the early binding, you just need to again recreate that early binding class, and you need to take that and you need to copy that one, and you need to put it in Visual Studio so that the field will automatically get enabled. But in the early binding, that type of scenario is not necessary. We can just directly copy paste the logical name from there, and we can use that scenarios here. So for creating address, I just use this one. So I'll just go to my existing Visual Studio, and I'll just copy the code from here. Yes, considering the time constraints. So what I'm doing here. So I'm just checking the address. So in the entity, I'm just checking the address line one is available or not. If it is available, map to street one. If city is available, map to street city. If country is available, map to country. State to state, postal code to zip, and name to name. And I'm just passing this account ID. This account entity ID is nothing but, for example, it is in a post operation. So I'll get an ID of the account. So I want to map that ID. For example, account to address that I want to make a relation. So for that, I'm just using that account ID here, and I'm just directly creating an address here. That's it. So now I'll just build the solution. I'll go to my plugin registration tool. I'll just click on update here. I'll just add a Dataverse, I mean DLL. I'll just click on enter. Cool, it's done now. So now I'll just go here and I'll as like that. I'll just say create, and I'll say an account, and I'll say none, and I'll change it to post operation, and it will be an asynchronous. I'll just click on this steps. Cool, it's done. Now I'll just go to my table. I'll just click on new record. I'll say Dataverse 6, and I'll just enter the amount. I'll just come here, and I'll say let me say street 1. I'll say city, state, zip code, and a country. Now it's done. I'll just click on save. It's done. Now I'll just go to related, and I'll go to address. So here you can able to see the address automatically gets populated. I'll just open the address. So against this, I mean, we have mapped this lookup, so I can able to see it in a related tab. and you can able to see the city, state, India, I mean the country and zip code. From there, it is automatically gets populated here. So this is how we need to go with what can I say and post operation synchronous. Let's go for the PPT again. Now I'll just go for an post operation asynchronous operation. I want to change on related opportunity owners here. So I'll just go here and what I can do. So I'll just go here and I'll see any opportunities available. No, there are no opportunities available. I'll just create an opportunities here for now. Let me say opportunity one. I'll just change the owner and click on add. Perfect. So consider this one. So I have a field available, sync opportunity owner with account. So if I say yes, whatever the owner which is available in the account, the same owner should be mapped to an account, so the opportunity also. So how I'll do that? So I'll just to go here and I'll just create a new, what can I say, a new class file again. I'll say post operation account async. I'll say public. I'll implement interface here. I'll just add a related entities here. Perfect. It's done now. So now I'll just go to my existing code. I'll just take the copy of the code from the existing. I'll just show you here with multiple operations like execute and execute multiple both. I'll just show it out here. So first I'll just comment out this codes and I'll just comment out this one too. And I'll just use a fetch expression and I'll just use a send request. And I don't want to use this. I'm just going with the service request. Okay. So now what I'm just doing here. So let me just do this one. So what I'm just first doing, first I'm just taking the target entities. Okay. Now the target entity is available. And I'm just getting the pre-image entity because I want to get the owner of the account. And I just want to update that related records. So what can I say? The owner related opportunities owner. So for that, I'm just using a pre-image and I'm just getting the pre-image values here with the owner value, and I'm just checking whether the sync opportunity owner is updated or not. So if it is there, then come and check whether that is value is true or not. If it is true, get the values. So I have taken this fetch XML query. Let me just show you how I have taken this fetch XML. So I'll just go to directly fetch XML. I mean, what can I say? The advanced find here. So once I came to advanced find, I'll go for an sorry, I'll go for an opportunity. I'll say account, and we have created an account called dv6. I'll just copy this one. I'll just paste it out here and I'll say status, sorry, status equals. Okay, let it be. I don't want to waste the time here. So the status will be active. So for that, state code equals 0 if you use, then it will just show the status with the value, what are the active opportunities which is available. So for that, now here you can able to see the results. So now what I need to do, I just click on download fetch XML. Okay, so the fetch XML downloaded successfully. I'll just open the fetch XML. So here is what the fetch XML which we need to use. So I just copy the fetch XML and I format it and I have used it here. So what I'm just using here, so I'm just passing the account ID manually here with the replace text. So what is the replace text will replace that? it will directly go and check whether the entity.id is nothing but which record it is running. So that ID will come here. I'm just using a retrieve multiple. I'm just getting that opportunity. I'm just looping that opportunity. First, what I'm doing, I'm just going and updating each time. So it will go, for example, now 3 opportunities available. If I go with service.execute here, it will assign the record and it will automatically run this one. So it will run 3 times here. So I'll just go here. Both, what can I say? The execute multiple and this execute will run the same operation, but I'm just showing. So this will run 3 times. So to avoid this one, for example, inside a loop, if you want to avoid this one, we can directly go with an execute multiple here. So for that execute multiple, we have a small query available. We can just directly use execute multiple requests. So instead of running it, what can I say, each and every time, just add it to the execute multiple request. Once the multiple request added, you can directly use the service.execute. So what it will do, it will go there and update the records at once. So the database transaction call will be at once. So now I am done this one. I'll just say a build. I'll just go to my plugin registration tool. I'll just click on update. I'll just add this one. Perfect. The plugin is done now. So I'll just add a step over here. I'll just say restore a new step, and it's an update operation, and it's in account entity, and it's a none. So the filtering attribute, what is meant by filtering attribute? For example, what are the filtering attributes which we are selecting? So if that field gets changed, then only the plugin will trigger. If you are using with all the fields, it will automatically run for all the things. So to avoid that, we can directly use this, what can I say, the filtering attribute. So for now, I just want to trigger this only with this field. I just selected this one. I'll just say post operation, and it should be in asynchronous. I'll just click on restore a new step here. Perfect, it's done. So I'll just add a pre-image here. For restoring a pre-image, you just click on new image, and the pre-image I want. So I'll just say what is the name which I have provided here as a pre-image. I'll just copy this one. I'll just paste it out here. And here I want only the owner ID. So I'll just select the owner ID here. I'll just click on OK, and I'll just click on restore image. Perfect, it's done now. So what I'll do, I'll just go to my, what can I say, the account. I'll just change it to yes, and I'll just click on save. So now I'll just go to my opportunity. I'll just refresh because we are running this in an asynchronous mode. So here you can able to see the record get automatically updated because as it is running in asynchronous mode. So this is how when we need to use an execute and execute multiple. So if there is only one record available, for example, I want to update only one record. So at that time the database transaction is only once. So at that time we can directly use service.execute to execute only once. If there is I want to update all the related entities. So at the time I need to go with the execute multiple step. So and you can able to trace the logs over here. So this is how we need to go with an execute multiple operation. Now let's quickly go with what can I say, the what can I say, a workflow activity here. So due to time constraints, so I'll just show you what is the workflow activity which I have already created. So in the workflow activity, we are having, I mean, in the plugin we are using I plugin here. So when it's called a plugin class which we are using. So if you are going with the workflow activity, we need to go with the code activity here. So when we are going with the code activity, you need to use a system.activities here. So because it's a workflow activity. So I just added an activity here, and here I'm just passing a parameter from the workflow here, and I'm just passing an account ID, and I'm just passing a owner ID here. So this is the input argument, and this is an input argument, and this is an output argument. So if there is anything available, you can just directly put an output argument, and you can send back to this one to the, what can I say, to our flow as an output parameter. So once you get that one, so here we are having an execution context. So same like this one. So how we are using this context service factory service and tracing. To use that one, we are using the execution context here. The same execution context, we can use a context service factory and service, and we can use a tracing here. So now what I have done, so I just take the account values. So whatever account values which we are getting, so I'm just changing that entity reference and I'm storing it in a temporary variable. And here I'm just converting this, sorry, account owner to temporary variable. I think I'll just change this one. Let me say account owner values, and this one is account ID values. Sorry, I think the network dropped intermediately. So cool. So what I'm just using here, I'm just using this account owner value and account ID value, and I'm just concatenating that logical names, and I'm just tracing it here. That's it. I'm just doing it here. So now, after doing this one, how you can go ahead and work on this. So for that, just click on new. It's taking some time. Okay, let me open the existing one. I think. Okay, so for creating that one, you just need to provide a process name, and the category will be a workflow, and against which entity you want to run. So for now, I'm just I want to use it for an account entity, so I just need to select an account. So if you want to run it in a background, you can just select this background, or else you want to run it in a synchronous mode, you can just uncheck this one to start with synchronously, to start this process synchronously. So now I'll just open the one which I have already created. So here you can able to see I want to trigger this one, and when a record is created, and I have added this one, so I'll just click on add step. So here you can able to see that post account workflow activity is available. So as I said, I want to pass parameters here. So for passing a parameters, so just click on set properties, and then in this set properties, what it will come with two values, which one is nothing but, and I want to pass an account ID, and I want to pass an owner record here. So let it load. Come on, man. Okay, so here you can able to see the account ID. I'm just passing with the account ID value, and account owner. I'm just passing the owner of the account. That's it. So once this done, just activate this workflow. Okay, now the workflow is activated. I'll just go to my account. I'll just click on new, and let me see. Okay, it's done. So let me see Dataverse 6 demo. Okay, perfect. And I'll just enter the amount as it is a mandatory. I'll just click on save. I'll just go to my process. I'll just go to my plugin trace logs. I'll wait for the trace log here. So this is plugin, and I want to have a workflow activity. So it will take some time to load it. So I'll just so to see the status, I'll just go to my process sessions here. I think it's not maybe I think what I need to do, it's created and it's in a running in the background. So I think it is taking some time to create. As it's a trial environment, it is taking some time to create a record. So at the time, so yeah, it's created now. Now I'll just open the record which is created, and the log file, whatever we have done. So we have concatenated the logical name of account and the logical name of the owner. So I'll just show you where the log, how the log getting traced here. I'm online. Oops, it's taking some time to load. Yeah, let it load. So the output, how it will be, I mean, I'll just show you the output, how it will just show. So yeah, it's there, perfect. So I'll just come here. So here you can able to see system user with a comma, I mean, and this is for a system user and this is for an account. So these are the logical names which I have used. So in the workflow activity, that's it. Cool. So this is what I'm just traced it out from here. Yeah, cool. So the pretty much I think I have completed all the one which I have mentioned it out here with what can I say, pre-validation for pre-operation, post-operation sync and post-operation async and a workflow activity here. Cool. Any questions available here?
Hi, Ram Prakash. Thank you for that. So there are some questions here. So there's a question by Rekka asking if Microsoft now recommends using Power Automate flows for asynchronous workflows and
Mhm.
synchronous workflows will probably soon follow. Should we still be writing workflow activities at all?
Yep. So the thing is, it depends on the customer requirement because some of the customers would like to go with what can I say, Microsoft Flow, and some of the customers would like to go with what can I say, the coding like a plugins or workflow activities. So that depends on the customer mindsets here. So, but as I said, as Lynn said earlierly, so when compared to the what can I say, the plugins, it is good to go with the flow, but that depends on the customer mindset.
Okay, lots of the actual questions have been answered actually. Thank you guys. It looks as though Phil Cole and Bipin have been and Betim have been answering many of the questions here.
Cool.
So there is a question in terms of by Eduardo, in terms of limitations, API calls, execution times, etc. Which design considerations should be taken comparing with Power Automate?
Okay, so here if you are going with the workflows, right? So workflows or plugins, there is the, I mean, we can't increase the timeout. So here the timeout is only 2 minutes. Within the 2 minutes, the plugin should run, or else the timeout exception will automatically throws in plugins or workflows. But when compared to the Power Automate, there is not that much. It is not limited to like a 2 minutes or something like that. So, but when we are going with the plugins or workflows, so if you are sure that the plugin will it won't take more than 2 minutes, it will be good to go with the plugins and workflow, or else we can directly go with the Microsoft flows here.
So Bipin asked the question, if I enable the profiler for plugin steps to debug the code in
Yes.
dev, now
Mm-hmm.
if I forget to stop profiling and deploy the solution to UAT or prod, will there be any impact?
Related to plugin profiler, but it is good to go with by disabling the plugin profiler. But I think I did not test that scenario. But I think Bipin, you can just reach me out through my LinkedIn. I'll just provide my LinkedIn. So I'll just check that one and I'll give you an update for that one.
Right. Dean's answer. Dean has said here you won't be able to import the solution into the environment that does
Perfect.
not have the profiler tool installed. Okay. So the next question is can we do synchronous flows with Power Automate?
No.
Yep. So that's the main
But
difference,
there is
right?
a way available, so I can just say a way available, but for that one also you need to have a button in a CRM system, and you need to have a HTTP request in the what can I say, Power Automate. Just click on a button and call that flow. So this is one of the way available, or else write a plugin and call that what can I say, the Power Automate flow using that plugin also. So there are two ways available, but there is no synchronous way available.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? We've got 2 minutes left before we move on to the next session. Here we go. Frederick is asking the question, what are the difference between plugin, custom actions, and Power Automate flows regarding source control and ALM?
All right. Okay. So the main difference between plugin and workflow and action, for example, if we are going with the action, then we need to have some actions to be performed. Like, for example, on a button click, we can directly go with an, what can I say, an action can be automatically triggered. If you are going with, for now, the database has recently introduced an option called custom web API option available. So using that custom web API, we can directly call an action. For example, I have created a message here. So for the one which I have showed into a plugin registration tool, right? So the message which I have used today for our session is create and update. If we are creating an action, that action message we can directly use it in our plugin registration tool as a message, and we can call our workflow. So this is for what can I say, the action. And if you are going with a plugin, so when we need to go for a plugin, there are particular certain messages available. So using that messages, we can directly go with the plugin. But if you are going with workflow activity, there are no such messages available. If you want to go with a workflow activity, it's blindly you need to use that in the workflow activity based on the conditions which is available in the workflow activity. Like for example, the code which I have written for an amount greater than 50,000, that I have written it manually. But if you are going with a workflow activity, you can directly use the code is greater than or equal to 50,000, like how we are using it in the fetch XML query. So if we are going with that type of thing, we can directly go with a workflow activity. So these are the things which we need to keep it in considering in the mind, and these are the main key points which is available for the plugin, workflow, and what can I say, action. So that these three, all of them are depends on the requirement, and based on the requirement, we just need to an architect or a developer need to think of that one, which one we need to go for it. So it's purely a dependent one.
Okay, final question by Bipin.
Yep.
What is the best practice around creating class files for plugins? Per entity, one class file, or per entity, per execution pipeline, one class file? If I have to update more than 500 records from plugin, can we use X? Okay, let's answer the first question first. Sorry.
Okay. So if the class files is like, for example, as I said earlier, uh, uh, a single plugin timeout is 2 minutes. So before just I'll just go to my plugin registration tool to just show you an image here. So here you can able to see an execution order available. So if there are multiple available, you just need to go with creating a separate class file for a separate event, and you need to put an execution order of the pipeline. For example, first this class file should be run. For example, account, I have 3 plugins available. What is the order of the 3 files should be run? So you need to mention this execution order here. So based on the execution order, we need to go with a separate CS file to achieve what can I say, achieve the your requirement here, Bipin.
And
So what is the
finally,
next?
thank
Yep.
you. And finally, if I have to update more than 500 records from a plugin, can we use execute multiple request in plugin to improve performance? Is there
Uh,
any limitation on using
no,
execute
if you are
multiple
going
requests?
with more than 500, right? So sometimes what it will happen with the execute multiple, more than 100, it will automatically get failed and we can't able to see that values over there. So you need to split that 500 into 100 batch, and you need to pass each 100 to that execute multiple, and you need to make it trigger. So how we can pass it out this one? Just create a temporary variable for that GUIDs, and just use that one with the execute multiple request. Use it to use it every 100. If it reaches 100, just process the one step, then again go for a loop to run it for a next 100. So it is good to have with 100 batches in the execute multiple request.
Fantastic. Okay, well, that's time up for you, Ramprakash. So thank you once again for managing to fit all of that in within the hour. Do you have any final comments or announcements to make?
I have mentioned my YouTube channel, LinkedIn, and blog in the what can I say, the comment section. If any of them having any trouble, you can just reach me out over there.
Thank you once again, Ramprakash, and take care and see you soon.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Okay.